Hi everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token Channel. Hope you guys are having a great day there. And let's get into it. Hex.com, you know how I roll. Straight into it. Let's go. Hex date is 7:06. Can you believe it? And we're looking at the 7th of November snapshot. This is after 24 hours, of course, and we snapshot at 17.7 cents. So testing that support hardcore. Yesterday was a big test, of course, and today really just dipped below, just at that turnover period. Just crazy, really. And of course, just testing that support line. Boy, is it gonna break, or is it gonna stay there? And then we're gonna check that out in a short space of time when we get to the Hex chart. Let's go down 5.5%. So it's down 15.8% in 2 days. And of course, a return on investment since the 5th of January 2020 is 3,148. That's just for the price. Doesn't include staking, of course, which would turbo boost that. Payout per Tshare 5.837. A bit of penalties in there, so a bit of a bonus. Remember, stake it and make it. That's pretty much how you do it. Or stake and live, stake, well, all these different types of stakes. So just stake it and get it. Obviously, the cheaper the price, the better the entry, and that's just the way it goes. So Tshare, $3,429, cheap as chips, and good look at that compared to the last 10 days. Pick up those Tshares, folks, because that's you're going to get this this payout, woo, and the penalties. Whenever price goes down, you get lots of penalties. That's why stakers make it. That's the way it goes. Tshare rate, 19,296, up 23.3. I'm sure we're going parabolic. Let's have a look at that parabolic chart again. And this is the turning point that we want, right? We want that beginning of that parabolic chart. I did show that the long-term chart the other day. So we'll check that out as well. So increase in Tshare, nice, and it's going to get more expensive over time, despite what the Hex price does as the parabolic price rises go up. Average stake length 5.79, up. It's even higher, so that's great. Higher is better. So even though the price is down, all these other metrics, fundamentals are going up, and those are the keys parts in the long term. So annual percentage yield rate, interest, and yearly in-stake penalties, 37.44. So better than the last 2 days, and better than most of the last 10 days, to be honest. So pretty cool. What's that? The second best day in 10 days. That's nice. So see what I mean? Stakers getting paid. Liquidity pool of 155.4 million, all-time high for the last 10 days. And of course, that's still, we need some whales to stay eating up into that, or a nice momentum where you get the retail people in as well. So liquidity, 25.6 million US dollars. And of course, liquidity in the ETH pool, 767 ETH, up from yesterday, actually. So must have some more liquidity providers in there, I guess. And yeah, that's just the way it is. So that's the lowest day. We did hit 29 back on day 701. So down at 25. Let's have a look. Total value locked. Yeah, total value locked 11.15 billion. And market cap 101.83 billion. So what are we? Our highest one, 131 back there on day 699. So 101, just staying over 100. Can we do it? Let's stay there. Let's stay there. And anyway, Tshare market cap 37.78 billion, and Tshares at 11,017,000. And of course, there we are, down 5,786. We are going through, remember, the period of lots of stakes coming out. People that stake 1 year, 2 years back, XOGs, short-term stakers, of course, big XOGs with 30-day stakes, 3-month stakes are typical as well. So we've got those combinations of those longer stakes and the early stakes. Remember, Hex is only coming up on its second birthday on the 2nd of December, so you expect to see a lot of risk-averse staking. People are staking for that shorter period as well, that sort of thing. So it'll be interesting to see whether this breaches below 11 million, eh? We'll watch out for that closely. 11 million Tshares, that'd be interesting. And of course, here we are in the last 10 days. Total supply, let's go to that, and let's go. So 635.7 billion total supply, minted inflation 31.3 million. So another high day of minted inflation, and you can see that if we compare back to 20 days ago, you can actually see that we're in quite high minting periods, obviously with the big stakes coming out, but we have got a bit of gaps between the days, so just take that into account. Circulating supply 573 billion. Of course, most of that's with the Origin wallet, which is one of the fundamentals in Hex. Change circulating supply 121 million. Wow. So big increase there, folks. Really big. Look at that. Wow. That's a big day. And of course, a stake supply 662.7 billion. And that's down 89. So look at the corresponding circulating supply up. Staked Hex down by a huge amount today, and that's just reflective of that available in supply. We have got the big candles, I say. There's a couple of them, and of course it doesn't necessarily, people have got 2 weeks to unstake before they start getting 1% penalty, so we do have delayed, even when we have the big staking candles, we have delayed people actually taking those stakes out and claiming them. Staked GA, we'll jump past that, of course, and stake percentage of coins 9.87%, so just a slight slippage, but still holding up well, and of course that reflects, this change in stake supply here coming down, so that's down. Payout to Hex stakers 64.3 million, nice, just continues to go along there. Penalties 2 million, a good day for stakers, good penalties. We'll take that, thanks very much. Total holders 379,000, up 566. Oh, beautiful, good jump in today. So that's a highlight for sure. And current stakers 70,000. Woo! Up 105. So you can see, apart from the price, a lot of the stake, a lot of the indicators look really good. The fundamentals of Hex are doing what they're supposed to do. Change in stake is 105, and a total change in stake is 119 to 86,000, and change in current holders up 224 to 265,545. So very cool, and getting a bit more buyers in there on the retail level from the looks of it. So very cool. Overall, pretty good results, except for the price testing that support. Let's have a look here. Of course, this is live price now, 18.1 cents. Tshare is $3,500 at the moment. And of course, you can see the pullback still there. And with the Hex price here, just testing that support. Boy, oh boy, let's it gonna, it was our previous price that's gonna hold. That's the key. It's tested at least twice now, and maybe even 3 times if you, depending on the way you look at the chart. So adoptions, just share rate, of course, up to the right. And look at that. That is definitely starting to look parabolic. So that's going to have increased impact on the price of Hex over time. That's a beautiful thing. Oh my gosh, that's a really good. I'm looking at that, and that's really starting to get looking good. Of course, remember the Tshare is a function of the Hex price and the share rate, the share price. Sorry. So the Tshare rate here, function of the price and the share price here, and this is up and to the right and starting to look parabolic. It is starting to get that. Now in the long term, so this goes up really steep in the long term, so we're watching that. Very cool. And daily payout per Tshare, just a beautiful day today with a bit of penalties, 2 million. Nice. Liquidity looking pretty solid. Of course, USDC dominating as usual. We'll jump away to Nomics and see how we're getting on there. Nomics, okay, 2.99 trillion, nice, up 2%. We are in the bull market nicely. 64,256, man, it's getting back up to attack. 67 again, and of course this was the previous all-time high, remember, back about 6 months ago, and of course that's up 3.47%. Ethereum 4,600, looking bullish, 2,000 up 2%. Binance coin, of course, that's the other thing. There'll be some Hex selling, of course, because of Ethereum pumping. So people selling their mad gains on Hex into Ethereum, of course, and with the price down a bit. Binance coin is still looking super strong, 640 at number 3, and Hex down at number 4. How far is that? 104 billion, still well ahead of Solana there, and trading volume 29 million, which is actually a pretty good day on trading volume. 104 holding, and of course sitting at 18.1, so defending the line there as well, but testing it. So let's get into the chart and let's have a quick look at that as well. So here's the old price prediction chart. You can see the purple line is the support line, but we have punched through it twice. We didn't cruise through it yesterday. So yesterday we got hit 17 cents, but it was a spike down, but we did close above it, and that's positive. But today we actually closed below it at 18 cents, and sorry, it's not quite close below it yet. So we really want to hold above 18 and hold above that line. So that's what, about 8.5 cents, and we have spiked through that twice there. And of course, the 200 rolling average is about 16.3 cents. So we're pretty much on par. We're just slightly below now. Can we come back up over that over the next until this day closes? So that's probably the key there, and hold the support line. Otherwise, we're looking at probably anything way down to 10-12 cents. We don't really want that. Probably 15, then 10, 12, and then if we do 10, 12, then likely gets a spike down to 9 or something like that. This is completely how that goes. So far, tracking pretty well towards our price prediction. Obviously, this is just a general guide, and of course, we're waiting for some pulse chain news. Obviously, rumors about Richard's tweet about his birth time. as opposed to per date, and he's got you know, was it the 18th? Was it 18th November pulse in the mainnet? This is the hexologist interpretation. So whether it comes true or not is another thing. But I definitely think that with the dev the other day being rather bullish, that we expect in the coming week we'll see Pulse Chain 2.0 to come, and I don't think it was up when I checked yesterday, so that's coming up, of course, with the distribution test. I have to double check that, but I think that was the case, and so we expect some news around about that. We may not get it here as expected, but maybe a bit later, and just slightly later possibly, or it may just not happen. We may not get an official announcement. May get it late November, based on that tweet, if that is correct, that rumor. Otherwise, 2nd of December at the 731 gathering, which is the 2-year party for Hex, we may get it there. So I'll have to just keep abreast of this part of the curve. I definitely think that that's what's going to happen when we get some news about Pulse Chain. We'll get the resurgence there, of course. All right, so let's jump over to the Hex Whalebot, and we can see that 18 hours ago we've got nothing much happening there. This is one of these big candles coming out, 268 days, and it was 19 million. 19 million hex, yeah, just ended. And we've got another one there, 10 million hex ended. That was on 34-day cycle, so it's just in front of the wave there. We'll just probably switch out again. And what else we got? 1.7 million sold 6 hours ago. 1.4 million bought 14 hours ago, so I think I jumped there. Bought, and then what else we got going on there? And then another stake in 90 days. So I'll talk about 3 months and 1 month and stuff like that. And of course, we have the long stake. We have an example of every single type of stake here coming out 90 minutes ago. Another 77 million just ended for 30 days. So we'll hope for that they restake there. So that's pretty much it. And let's have a look at the overview here. I'm going to pull this over. And of course, it's the 4-month on the staking candle, not the 15-year one we looked at yesterday. And you can see that we've actually got pretty good room here for the price to move up if buyers are willing. So that's probably the case. We have got increased circulating supply at the moment, as we saw on these daily stats, but we've definitely got less stakes coming out in the future. So we'll watch that. And yeah, pretty good room right up to the December. 2nd December, we've got this big candle and the one before it, and a couple of these other ones are pretty decent too. But this is the last big one. And then we've got these, well, I guess this was the last big one, this one. Well, let's go, we've got these 3 the last big ones, because they're actually sort of fairly big. 563 million, 667 million. This is the big one, 772. But we've got lots of big gaps between that, whereas before we used to have these stacking up next to each other. And so it's going to be interesting to see what the profile looks like in 2022, which I think looks very pump-and-mental, pump-and-malicious. It looks fantastic. So that's pretty much it. So 30 minutes, folks. Let's get into it. Richard, of course, posted this 22 hours ago. We're on the chart as a 67% dip, not being a wonderful opportunity. So he's just saying that dips are in the game. He's always said that dips are in the game, and look at all these dips that we've had. And sometimes they're 65%, sometimes they're 30 to 40%, sometimes they're 80, 85%. So we've had a couple of those. So just take that into account on this one. So very cool, and I think that was it. That's it from him so far. And yeah, very cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I will be doing another video today. I'll surprise you with that later on. And of course, onwards and upwards. Please subscribe, like, and share, and hit the bell, of course, for future videos. And I love to hear comments in the chat. Do comment. I look forward to that, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care, everybody out there. Good time to pick up some T-shares, and bye for now.